to do in school. Nick, you didn't, did you? Death isn't going away. It's getting closer.
Man, I love crime thrillers.
Me too.
With a lot of suspense, a little bit of murder.
And a deep bass drum.
Boom, 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 boom.
We're here with Sway.
Boom, boom, boom. Somebody did the deed.
Yeah. Back in high school.
Boom, boom, boom. There was a couple that died.
Yeah, and only he lived wearing underwear. Boom, 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 boom.
Bill Pullman is back, ladies and gentlemen. Hey!
We just made a trailer for like a
Yeah.
random film.
Yeah.
That was an improv circle.
Why did I have to go to the underwear?
I know, right? What's going on with you, Bill?
Yeah,
How
I
you
just had to go there, get naked in front of Sway.
Yeah, man. How was that? Was that liberating for you?
Oh, my God. It's just starting. Let's keep going from here.
Go all the way down.
Oh, man. Let me get it back together here. That was a trailer from The Sinner. Season 3 of the TV series The Sinner is premiering February 6th.
Yes.
Thursday night. You made it to season 3. Round of applause.
Whoa. We're climbing.
USA Network giving Bill money.
Them chicks.
I ain't mad at that.
Really good.
Yeah, man.
Sinning pays.
How you been enjoying? I love this show. You know, when Jessica Biel was in the first installment, if you will, the EP. Does she come down on set and just yell at you if you get the lines wrong, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's right. Because exec producer, she is, but she's such a good person. You know, she comes on the set. Everybody likes to see her. You know, she is a very regular person and everything. So, yeah, this season she came a bit, and, keeps an eye on things. But she always is good when I like to send her pictures from time to time. You know,
Nudies?
I do. No underwear shots, Sway. Oh, you're trying to out me. Oh, my God.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
That'll be funny, man.
Yeah.
This season, so one season, Jessica Biel lost her memory. Couldn't remember if she stabbed a guy or something. Like that, right?
Yeah.
And then the second season, it was the person,
kid with
the
the
kid
couple.
poisoned the couple.
Right.
This season, it's
Oh, Mr. Bomer. Matt Bomer. Yeah, it's a car accident, middle of the night. Seems tragic. You know, I go to depose this guy, young husband, baby on the way, seems normal. Unfortunately, the driver died, but he lived, but I need to talk to you. And then suddenly it starts to wonder, and it takes 8 episodes to find out who is this guy.
a whole 8 episodes. Huh?
8 episodes.
Oh, I could just ask you.
Yeah, we could cut to the quick.
We could.
But then you wouldn't get the boom, boom, boom. You want the boom, boom, boom.
I'm not mad at that, Bill. You look great, man. What are you doing, man? You work out? What are you doing?
Not enough. I'd like to go. I have now that I'm. While you're doing the series is all fall, and now I got a little time in January, so I'm out there. And I have an orchard.
Yeah.
I have an orchard. I have what's called biophilia.
Okay.
Love of living things. I love growing stuff.
Yeah.
And I have in LA where we raise the kids, there have been a lot of trees, and now it's citrus season. You pick a warm orange off the tree, man. It's so good.
It tastes different, right, than what you get in the store?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is like sweetness and I lost my sense of smell when I was young, and I think that sense of taste of a tree ripened fruit is like, I was going to say it's like cocaine to me, but I don't really know what cocaine is like. Oh, wow, I ducked that bullet. Wow.
So,
God, that was a cul-de-sac. I was headed to something. I had to put it in reverse. Get out of here. Jeez, this is live.
Are you just a gatherer, or are you like a hunter-gatherer too? Do you eat meat? Would you ever go hunting?
Well, you know, I have come from a tradition of agriculture, so I do. We, with a friend in Western New York State, we raise beef, single-source beef. We know what's in it. You know, we grass-fed beef.
Beautiful.
And no animal byproducts in the feed, no antibiotics unnecessarily. So, you know, I do eat the red meat.
You're a red meat eater.
Delicious.
I'm a red meat
He's
eater.
a carnivore right here,
Yeah.
baby. This is not to be confused with an omnivore or herbivore. This is a straight carnivore. Boom, boom, boom.
Coming down.
But you got a cattle ranch, right?
Yeah,
In Montana?
In Montana,
Yeah.
and that's also, you know, part with my brother and his wife. It's really my sister-in-law who's the rancher, and we just take our orders from her. And but it's you know, you get to know a lot. You live in a small town, and you know, you get to know a lot about what the country's like and part of the world. You know,
What do you and that's what I'm curious about. Like, how many cattle? What kind of cattle do you have, and then how many?
it's not a huge
Okay.
herd. It's what we can handle because we don't hire like a ranch manager or something.
okay.
Like
Y'all
that.
not
Like,
selling it.
Most of the celebrities tend to avoid the work part of the ranch. You know, I don't know how they do that. I don't. I'm too dumb. I get out there.
You
and
out-
I do
you out there?
irrigation. Yeah, wheel lines, hand lines. I do fixed fence. And, But
Wow.
I love anything that gets you outside. You know, I
You
just,
milk the cows? Or
no, they're Angus beef.
Oh, they're
cows.
Angus beef,
Yeah,
okay.
but we got BLM pastures up in the mountains, so we're driving with horseback. You know that classic. You're all welcome.
Bro.
We could go live up
Do
there on top.
some
of
Brokeback Mountain.
Wait,
man.
you just missed
Oh, Sway
No wonder.
wants to get complicated.
Sway, he just invited us to do a broadcast at
Yeah,
his farm.
right up there on the ranch. Yeah,
I would love that.
Don't fuck with
Go
me.
up on Bull Mountain.
Really?
Yeah.
There's the two of us?
Well,
What are you suggesting?
complicated.
Sway, I said you can't milk those cows. What's happening?
Oh, that's an image. Oh, no wrong cow, Sway. Over here.
Oh my god!
Oh my God, that'd be fun.
Mike Biel, please. Get in there. Goddamn gun.
Bill, this milk is funky.
Yeah. Hey, Sway, I don't want to run out of time before we do something
Yes,
because
yes.
last time I was on here, I had to do that thing for Will Smith's birthday.
It was his birthday, yes.
Yeah, and today is my son's birthday.
Louis?
Yeah, Louis James Pullman.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
28 years old. He's the actor one. He's going to be out in Top Gun 2.
He's a singer-songwriter, too? Or is he
Oh,
just
that's
a-
my daughter.
That's your daughter's a singer-songwriter.
Singer-songwriter, and the middle son, he makes puppets and masks.
Okay. So
And then the youngest son's an actor, and he's
Okay.
been doing pretty well. He's in Bad Times at El Royale, if you saw that movie.
I saw that movie.
Yeah.
He's in Top Gun, too.
Top Gun 2. So, you know, he doesn't know. He's still sleeping in L.A., you know.
Okay.
That big things are about to happen to
Okay.
his phone
Okay.
when he comes on.
Film it, too, man.
Okay. I'm
okay.
going ready to go.
You ready? You ready? This is live on the air.
Yup, right on the
Citizens of
iPhone.
Sway in the Morning. Do you know his social media, by the way?
I don't.
No, you don't? Okay, all right, ready?
no, I'm-
Yo, I just want to say, listen, Louis James Pullman. This
Let's
is
do it again. Okay, now
all right, ready?
my check is off.
What an amazing day this is. This guy is so happy. He's been so elated. Louis, what's up, man? It's your brother Sway, man. Good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. I just want to say happy birthday. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 Louis. Happy birthday. Congratulations on Top Gun 2. I can't wait to see you on the red carpet, man. Happy birthday. And I want all the citizens to wish Louis James Pullman happy birthday. Hit him up on his social. His dad don't know what that is.
It's Louis_Pullman on
Okay,
Instagram.
Louis_Pullman on Instagram. All right, cool.
I'm learning here.
All right,
I
cool,
not
man.
only
Yeah.
am a guest, I learned.
And he plays Bob.
Come on, man. Come on.
Oh, the brother
I
we
got
love
you,
in
man.
this quarter.
I got you,
citizens.
man. We're going to be going to Brokeback Mountain soon, so. All right. It's
all coming.
complicated.
I
It's
started with the
complicated.
underwear, didn't it? I
Yeah,
think I just
you
triggered
can open that chamber. So you don't sell cattle though. So you're not.
We sell calves, that goes to market and everything, but we're eating our own beef as well. So but it's part of the cycle of life. I got hunting up there. It's not, you don't talk about it at dinner parties in L.A. But I try all these ways to be nice. I don't eat beef every day. They try to find some nuance of it. God.
A different angle, right?
Yeah, different angle, kind of low profile. I eating fish too. I'm having chicken sometimes. I'm not bad.
Well, Bill, man, it's an honor to be in conversation right now, man. And we rarely get farmers here on this show. That's just number one. I'm looking at you as a farmer.
Yeah.
And we talk a lot about politics on this show. And you don't have to give your political opinion, but I'm just curious, is there uncertainty with your colleagues in the farmer market and industry about what is happening in politics? So we always hear from this analytical perspective. We always hear about polls. We always hear about projections and with China and the trade tariffs and how it's going to impact farmers. And here we have a real farmer right now.
You're the first.
Can you just talk about, is there uncertainty? Are you guys nervous? Do you guys get together at the coffee shop and talk about these type of issues?
Well, I think in our valley, we have a lot of big beef producers and things, so that there's quite a bit in that country of trying to avoid signing up for the big government packages of support, but those farm bills still are really important to sustain the agriculture industry and keep us competitive globally and everything. But I think there's a little bit of shakiness going on in there, which from my political perspective is a good thing, because the fact that this tariff wars and things like that are kind of making it unstable. There's the highest suicide rate is in farmers in America.
See, we don't hear this story.
Yeah,
I've never even really heard that.
Yeah,
that statistic.
it's beyond veterans. And it's just because it's so, you put everything on the line and you're still dependent upon Mother Nature to have consistency, and that she isn't often that way. And so there's a lot of new things that are happening climate-wise that they're trying to adjust to. But you get these microcells that are blasting out things. We got fires. I had a 640-acre section that a lightning strike 2 years ago, burns up everything, burns up the perimeter fence, not covered by insurance. These fires are really expensive on ranchers and farmers, because you don't get insurance for that kind of stuff or anything. So, I think there's a little bit of jittery.
A little bit of jittery?
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody heard what I think, first of all, this is the first time I heard a first-person account of what it must be like being a farmer in this country. My family own a farm in Louisiana. Yeah. And it might not, when you said a 640 square acre section of your land, I realized we don't really own a farm.
Well, if we got just 1/10 of your rainfall, we wouldn't have to have 640 acres, because that's dry. There's like one blade of grass on each acre.
Well, shit, that's just a section, though.
That's a section.
Is that a quadrant? Or is that a third?
Yeah.
What are you talking here?
It's bigger than my apartment. Shit.
Bill, you got your own town?
Yeah. It's awfully quiet in that town up there, but it's so dry, and moisture is the big thing. How do you get water? How do you keep water, on it? Whereas you got a good level.
You got good rainfall.
You got good rainfall.
Humidity. And
you're probably up to 40 inches of rain a year, and we're at about 15.
In Montana.
In our area, Montana, it's different parts of it, different things. But that, it's 11 in L.A., and it's so that 15 is, and it's getting less. Collectively, we're getting less. We're in a little bit. These droughts are incredibly painful. And you know what? Okay, I have a buffer. I have another job that helps us support this. But I'm so involved with the ranch life there and everything that I'm very aware of all these things. So I'm not pretending that I'm, getting suicidal yet. But
No. Come see
not
you.
for that.
No.
No,
We got work for you here, Bill.
Say that.
Don't worry.
I don't have that
don't do
problem,
that,
but I
man.
love these. I love these families, and it's such a sign of the fact that it's amazingly rich country for agriculture. You know, they've always been on the cutting edge of what, trying to produce food for people and everything, and the practices, trying to get better and better to keep the land together, and this whole thing of regenerative agriculture movement, which is so important to keep regenerating the soil and try to get that carbon sequestration going, where it takes the carbon out of the air, and it's the best way we have to kind of help be resilient to climate change and things, and it's the farmers that are doing a big part of that. So I think it's I'm glad we got to talk about it. That's really good. Nobody asked about it.
You're underscoring the importance, I think, what doesn't get addressed is how much climate change impacts farming and farmland.
Yeah.
And that is a big issue. So my favorite committee in the Senate is the Senate Agriculture Committee, just for this particular type of reason. So what you're mentioning should be addressed more. But then also, too, even to what, Sway, you're talking about in terms of Louisiana and the disparities within, like, small-owned, family-owned farm versus the big beef ranches that Biel is talking about, and that disparity, income inequality gap that's associated with it. And also, too, farming is one of the biggest entitlement programs that is out there that doesn't get talked about in terms of how much farmers actually receive from the government. We always talk about entitlements from Social Security and or welfare, but we need to insert farming.
Farmers
and
get
that, too.
They get the bag, too.
Oh, much bigger bag.
Much bigger bag.
They get, and there is corporate agriculture has got some serious challenges and some things they got to get right, and one of this is overuse of antibiotics, and that's something because we got to preserve our antibiotics. So that's a big movement to try to encourage these big places that feed the antibiotics to animals so they can get bigger production, and that devalues the antibiotics, and pretty soon we aren't going to have antibiotics anymore, if they keep doing that. So there's a lot of practice, we got to keep getting better.
Absolutely.
Getting better.
When I think of Montana and that area of the country too, I think about the native folks, the indigenous people from that lived for centuries in that area. Is there inclusion in the farming industry with those folks, or are you? What do they have reservations around in Montana like that? What are the Native Americans?
One of the great tribes of North American plains, high plains, the Blackfeet, and in the western part of Montana, there's quite strong reses for Blackfeet, and they are continuing to get connected to a lot of what their traditions are, and I think the state itself. I've been involved with Montana State University because I
got an honorary doctorate there. Right?
I got
man, I know what you do. Come on,
boom, boom, boom. Honorary doctorate. That gives a little bit of something, doesn't it?
Got a little title there, man.
Herr Professor. Yes. Well, I taught there when I shouldn't have been teaching. I was way too young, and then I got out of it and I went to New York, started in. But I love that land grant university, and it gives a lot of opportunity to people from all over. But every commencement that I was there, starts with the native peoples doing the invocation, and there's a lot more ways, and there needs to be a lot more of giving them a place at the table at every cultural event. There's so much of that country that really needs to be reminded about what they bring to the game. The respect for the earth and
what was taken from them.
Protection of their land.
That
it doesn't get overfarmed from these big corporations, and also too that their water is protected, because what's happening is a lot of times these big corporations and farmers are taking the water from native land and transitioning over to their corporate farms, right? And so that's also a thing too as well. So
water rights. People have been shot over water there, and at Blackfeet, 1830 to 1890, so 60 years, they were decimated by yellow fever to a quarter of their population. That's for a culture. That's an apocalypse to a whole culture, that happened. So I think the wounds are still there,
Well, but I love you speaking on it. Let's make this guy special.
Yes.
Louis should be proud of you. Biel Pullman is here. The Center premiering February 6th on the USA Network, season 3. That's a Thursday. Y'all want to talk with him? 888-742-3345. Man, you got Robert from D.C. on the line. Rob, what up, baby?
Robbie!
What's up? How's everyone doing?
Boom, boom, boom.
I'm sorry. Well, first off, let me just say, sir, Independence Day is one of my very favorite movies. I love the speech. I have a football coach that used to say that speech before every game. Independence Day, that day should have a new meaning for us. I love that line, and I love that movie. So thank you very much for that. And secondly, I called in for one question, and I have to know this: were you friends with Bill Paxton?
Oh, yes. I'm honored by that question. He was a friend of mine, even though he was my doppelganger. I don't know who was the shadow side. Something we switched on and off,
That's a movie.
Yeah, that's a movie. But, Bill Paxton, Bill Pullman, they're both, as we say, plosives. There's something that, you want to say, Bill what?
Yeah.
And that happened. You want to go to the mailbox, say, I'm getting some for Bill Paxton. But we started in a Roger Corman movie.
Brain Dead.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Good call.
I love the cover of it with the stretched out face like that. That was always one of those VHS covers that you would see at the store and be like, I got to watch this movie.
That is, cult.
Yeah.
Really. And Bill was in it. I played a investigator, but my favorite scene is when, Bill plays a corporate type who's somewhat corrupt, and I'm a professor type who's having a brain trip that's unlike any other. And at one point I go into the bathroom, I have a wrap around my head, and I take it off and look in the mirror, and I see a suture all around my head, and I reach in and I grab the stitches and I pull the top of my head off, and black butterflies come out. So, when you do a movie like that with somebody like Bill Paxton, we tend to remember that we started with that kind of stuff.
Wow.
And I really liked him as a friend, and I visited him in Ojai, where he and his wife lived, and it was such a shock to lose him. These people that just, like Kobe, it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Nobody was ready for it, but thank you for asking that question.
Hey, Rob, take care, man. You're a citizen, Rob. Great question.
Hold on, I just wanted.
No, that's it, Rob. Peace. All right, good. All right, great. Rob is out. Because I know you have to go, but we were mentioning Will Smith, and Will Smith actually came up to the show 2 weeks ago, just before the release. We were the first stop on his U.S. tour, promo tour with Martin Lawrence for Bad Boys 3, and. He sat up, Bill. I'm coming from hip hop culture. Will and I have known each other for decades now, but we the only time we actually had a chance to talk on camera is when he did Ali, and I did an interview with him and Ali. But I remember when he first came out with DJ Jazzy Jeff, nobody could see what that future would be, And then about the time he did an Independence Day is when that star was really rising, and then the Hollywood machine realized what they had in this guy, and the critical acclaim start happening, and then he's become who he's become. Working with him, did you foresee that? Did that cross your mind? Like, damn, I'm working with an enigma right here.
I was right away charmed by him, in some way too, and just. But he, I think of that, yes, because I've been doing some promotion for this week, and there's no actor I've worked with more that gets more, that I get more questions. What was it like to work with Will Smith?
Yeah.
I've worked with a lot of great actors. I've been very fortunate, a lot of different people, but that's one that always comes up, and it's always a good one to answer.
Yeah.
So,
can you answer it in a way you haven't answered before?
Yeah.
Can you tell us something you haven't said?
I know it. I just, I think that it's lucky that we have that movie to kind of bring us back together from time to time, because, he has a lot going on his plate and everything, but the thing that I haven't said, because it's a little more tricky.
Okay.
We shot that movie during the OJ trial.
Yeah.
There was a lot of tension in L.A., and we were shooting in L.A. There was a lot of, people that were angry about different aspects of it, and when that verdict came down, there was tension in that city and tension on the set that everybody's shaky and what's going to happen. Will came on the set, and before we did the blocking rehearsal, he said, well, do we have some angry people around here? I said, whoa, this guy's taking it on.
Yeah.
He's taking it on. And it made it, he talked about it a little bit, and everybody had a little moment to go, yeah, we are under something, aren't we? We're dealing with something. And it was just enough, didn't divert us, got back into the work. But, that's a brave person.
Yeah.
That's a person stepping into something and rather than running from it.
Yeah.
So
Thank you. That was original too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was true.
It was true.
That's more important.
More important. Boom, boom, boom.
Here comes the truth.
Bill, thank you for coming by. Bill Pullman, ladies and gentlemen, on the Center premiering on February 6th, USA Network. Tell Lewis I said what up, man. Happy Born Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to get him on the show, I bet you soon.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Tell him if
maybe
he's in New York. Are you working with his son?
Yeah, she's working with the veteran.
Well, rightfully so, because that's the veteran over there.
Yeah,
right there.
yeah,
Okay.
but she knows how to will hook it in.
Yeah.
She makes things
she's
happen.
great at what she does. Whenever I see her face, I know I got a great guest.
Good.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Bill, thank you, man. Happy
Sway,
2020.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Yes.